All right, and finally, we have anarcho-capitalist, libertarian, a freedom fighter against mankind's two biggest enemies. This mic? Oh, I'll just stay on this one. Whatever. Enemy of the, let's see, two biggest enemies, the state and central banks. He's the founder of Dollar Vigilante and the host of the popular video podcast, Anarchast. There are few in the liberty movement that have ascended to the level of a single name. Please give a warm welcome to our host for Anarchapulco, the notorious Berwick.
Thank you very much. I gotta say, I didn't really plan this speech too much. This is day 6 for me. I had 2 days of Dollar Vigilante. This is now the 4th day of Anarchapulco. And actually, I haven't even been to this crypto room yet. And I kind of had in my head there's gonna be like 20 people here. So I was like, I don't need to really plan this talk out too much. Well, too late now, so. But I did have a few things I wanted to say about crypto. To start off, we've gone through a bear market here for the last year, and I was wondering, a show of hands, how many people are really concerned or think it's possible crypto is dead? Oh, speaking to the choir here, okay. So for anyone watching on video, not one hand went up. And I agree, I totally agree. It's not gonna be easy though, and we're already seeing that. But when you hear some people talking about crypto, people like Peter Schill, for example, and I want to say, a lot of people think I'm a hater of Peter Schiff and all that. I'm just having fun, because I met him in like 2012, told him about Bitcoin, and he didn't like it. 2013, every year, and he just won't stop going, this is a scam. But the reason it isn't is because it's incredibly powerful. When you have crypto, in this world today where we live today, when you have mafias all across the world, they're called governments, and they are tracking what you're doing and extorting a lot of people for most of the money they make, and control the money system, the fiat currency system, there's something really powerful about being able to use something that they can't stop, seize, control, print, extort. There's something incredible about that. And for anyone who's really used crypto, there's something so nice when you just look at your Bitcoin wallet on whatever form it is, and someone sends you a Bitcoin or you send them a Bitcoin, and you know they can't stop it. That is, to me, I'm always a smile on my face. I'm like, this is awesome. This is what we need. Now, you can totally say that maybe Bitcoin isn't perfect. Well, no, Bitcoin isn't perfect, that's for sure. Absolutely. In fact, it's kind of gotten worse over the last few years, in my opinion, but there's other options as well. And I don't know which one's going to come out the winner. And we've had a lot of forks now. Of course, Bitcoin forked, turned into Bitcoin, then Bitcoin Cash, and there's a whole bunch of other ones I don't even know. Bitcoin Gold, Bitcoin Diamond, I don't even know. And then Bitcoin Cash forked. And this is very confusing and difficult. I don't know. I have no crystal ball. I have no idea which of these are going to end up kind of winning in the end, you could say. But there will definitely be some winners. But it's going to take a while. But I don't even care if Bitcoin goes up a lot in price. If Bitcoin just stayed at 3,500, whatever it is today, forever, as long as it exists and I still have that option, that's what I care about. I've never cared about making a fortune with cryptocurrency. That's just a really nice side benefit when that does happen. a beautiful side benefit. And of course, a lot of people lost a lot in the last year. That's sort of a negative. It's also a learning experience. But if Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies at all didn't exist right now, I don't know if I'd be very optimistic about the future of the world. It's really given us some hope. And really the hope started with the internet. Before the internet, whoever these people are, and we've had a lot of interesting people here, like David Icke, talking about it's lizard people are controlling the world. I can't prove that's incorrect. But there is something, whatever this matrix is, and it could just be people, it could just be a bunch of sociopaths, really smart sociopaths, I don't know. I really don't know. But I know they control this world. And I know how they've been able to control it. When you control money, and I'll get into what money is in a second, today, this might not be true in the future as much, but right now, if you control money, you control the world. And there's a reason, I think. And there's a few different words for things like money. Another word for it is currency. And what is a current? That's an electrical transmission of energy. That's actually what it is. And we all use it, unless you're just using barter or you live in the woods and you don't do anything. We all transact every day. And when some group or people or whatever they are, could be lizard people, I don't know, control that, they can influence what happens in the world. And for the first time, since gold and silver, which they really co-opted a long time ago, we actually have this opportunity now to take that power away from them. But, just like anything, it's not going to happen unless we do something. It's not like cryptocurrencies exist and we can all just rest and go home and everything's going to be fine now. No way. It's all about human action, like Mises said. And we all have to take action. And that can be, and I love so many of the people that come to this conference. Have you guys met some pretty interesting people at this conference? Pretty cool people? Yeah, me too. Mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. And one was, just off the top of my head, Derek Freeman. He lives in the Free State Project in New Hampshire. And I didn't even know he was coming, and I saw him. He did a great, if you look it up, it's a great show or movie called The Victimless Crime Spree. It's really good. And I just saw him at the bar. I was like, oh, hey. And he's got a crypto company now. And he helps companies start to use crypto. And I just walked up, I said, how you doing? He's like, good. He's like, man, I'm gonna get this bar and this hotel on crypto, like today. And I was like, really? He's like, yeah, and I'm gonna be so happy when I do. And I think he did it. I don't know, have you guys seen? I think he already did it. I think they're accepting, because they weren't before. So, that is what we need. Take action. I love that Jeffrey Tucker's here, and I love hearing his stories. Stories like him and Murray Rothbard and Ayn Rand, and I think Alan Greenspan too. There was this weird little group there at the time, like 30 years ago. They'd be sitting in a living room in New York, according to Jeffrey, and they would say, how many true anarchists or anarcho-capitalists do you think there are in the world? And I believe what they said was, it might be 5, maybe 10. Well, look at it now. And this is just the beginning. And this, how did this grow? Where did you guys come from? I know I've heard so many stories of people. So I didn't know, and then my daughter or my son or my uncle told me about this, and then I looked into it, and now look how it grows. Once people have access to the information, it really grows. We now need to do that with cryptocurrency. We need to spread that. That is the key. And if you look at what's happening, there's so much stuff happening in the world today. France, for example, I'm half French. I blame that for the reason I'm drinking wine a lot. It's just an excuse, obviously. Man, it's been a stressful week. But you look at what's going on across the world. Even, I've said this before, even Donald Trump, I think he's a total inside job. He's an insider, he's a globalist. If you look into it, he really, it looks like he really is. This fact that, oh, some billionaire is going to, who's been friends with the Clintons for like 30 years and is a reality TV show actor and has been bailed out by the central banks numerous times, and I believe his uncle was involved with George Bush Sr. to do something with Nikola Tesla and take his technology away. Yeah, he's going to save us. He's the good guy. Well, even if it was Ron Paul as president of the US, he can't save anybody. All he can do is shut it down, and then we can move through this, and then we will be good. But that's the only way to fix any of this, is just to shut it down. And one of the ways to shut it down is to take away their control of the money. And if you look at what's going on in France, found it very interesting. Well, I find numerous things interesting about it. First of all, I haven't heard anything about this yellow vest movement anywhere but on things like We Are Change and a number of independent media. Yeah, give it up. Luke goes over there every weekend, almost die every weekend. But no one's covering it. And that's a sure sign that this is actually real to an extent. Nothing's fully real. There's always going to be co-option. There's going to be inside jobs and all that kind of stuff. But if it's not on the mainstream television programming, you know it's probably legitimate. And, you know, French people are kind of fucked up. So, so they're like, yeah, we got to get rid of this government. And then we have to increase minimum wage laws and do pensions. And you got it half right. Get rid of government and just stop right there. But that's actually happening. I love the fact, too, this is really beautiful to me. I didn't fully know it. That the reason, do you guys all know why they're all wearing these yellow vests? If you don't know, it's hilarious. So in France, the government has a law that if you want a car, you have to have not just one, but 2 yellow vests. And everyone's like, okay. So everyone's got the yellow vest. And they're like, this is getting stupid. Let's just stop this. Let's put on these vests and go out in the street and say no, which is great. But the important thing that they started to do, and I don't know where this is at the moment, because as we've seen, you can protest all day. You have to cut off their ability to control the money. So they tried to do a bank run. They don't understand how fractional reserve banking works because you can't do bank runs now. They can print up as much money as they want, but they're on the right track. If everyone in France just started using cryptocurrency and never touched another euro or a US dollar, that would change the world by tomorrow. That's the next step. We're still young in cryptos. It's only 10 years since Satoshi, whoever that was, started Bitcoin. Oh, Lucy, what are you doing down there? Come up here. I thought she was up here. Very early in this, and there's going to be so many changes, and like I said, whether it's Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash, or my personal favorite, for a number of reasons, is Monero. And the reason is because it is the one that's the most focused on privacy, and that's really the key. Part of the thing that happened with Bitcoin is, for whatever reason, and I'm not sure what happened, but it lost its focus on privacy to the point where it's almost become completely transparent, to the point where it's so easily trackable, unless you're using, proxy servers and VPNs and, if you know that stuff, which is important to know. But for your average person, Bitcoin is almost completely transparent to the mafia, the governments. Monero really focuses on the privacy aspect, and I think that's crucial. But I think there's going to be a number of winners, not 100 winners or anything, but there's going to be a few. And I still think Bitcoin's going to do really well in the next few years because it's really caught on with, it's got great marketing. If you ask people if they know what a crypto is, they'll go, oh, you mean Bitcoin. They won't go, oh, you mean Litecoin or Monero. Unless you're really geeky, you don't even know about those. If you're an average person, all they know about is Bitcoin. On top of that, there's a lot of institutional money about to come into Bitcoin. And this has been happening for a bit, but it looks like it's really going to happen this year. In the institutional space, the amount these money managers, these hedge funds, these mutual funds, these money managers, they manage trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars. And I know personally, I travel, of course, they're coming to talk to me because they know who I am. This isn't accidental. But I'll be anywhere, and a guy will always come up with a really nice suit on, and he'll give me a card, and it'll be something like Rothschild or whatever, and he'll be like, how do we get in on this? And they will soon. And they're probably going to go into Bitcoin. But when they get into Bitcoin, that will also really, well, Bitcoin will go up dramatically in price. I'm not John McAfee. I'm not going to make any predictions with my penis. You can't predict my penis at all anyway. You never know what it's going to do. But it's going to go up for sure. Oh, I didn't mean to. I didn't mean it that way. I honestly did not. Bitcoin is going to go up for sure. Freudian slip, or what's the words? And when it goes up, just like we saw in the past, it'll rise all boats, and a lot of the other cryptos will go up again. But I think Bitcoin, for sure, definitely owns some. Bitcoin Cash, but both of them, I'm not sure. There's some really crazy stuff going on. Did anyone see Rafael Laverde's talk here? Yeah. He's my crypto guy. Like, I don't understand 80% of what's going on in the space. It's crazy. No one can understand it. But he sits there all day and looks at code and figures out who's doing what. I'm not even sure which Bitcoin Cash is going to win at this moment in time. So I would hedge my bets. Own Bitcoin, get both Bitcoin Cash, EOS. Actually, I have a really interesting history with Ethereum. I met Vitalik way before he even started with doing anything with Ethereum. They were just starting it. It was a place called, I believe, Decentral in Toronto. Yeah, a few people know about that. Yeah, it was really interesting. I forget what year it was, a long time ago. It was the only time I ever met Vitalik, and I was like, that guy's interesting. Whoa. Oh yeah, total genius. And I was like, whatever he's doing, it's going to do really well. And I forgot about it. Didn't buy any. I got carried away on my own little adventures. But, so I saw that, and I actually recommended Ethereum to Dollar Vigilante subscribers at $2. I said, what I just said, this guy's a genius. I see what they're doing, smart contract kind of stuff. Buy some. And so a lot of people did. But then over the last couple of years, it had a lot of problems. And of course it's going to have problems. You know, we're in a brand new space. It's completely normal to have some problems, and Ethereum had quite a lot. And so I was kind of bearish on it for a while. But I've seen now, and Raphael tells me as well, he's basically who tells me all this stuff, that no, they're doing some really cool stuff now. So I would say Ethereum, sure. Ethereum as well, and Monero. And that's basically it at the moment. You know, there's lots of other, and they might do well. Dash, there's so many. But those are the ones I just focus personally on, the main ones that I think really have a serious, good future. And we'll see what happens. It's going to be wild and crazy. But for anyone who thinks the cryptocurrency space is dead, it's not. And the reason is because it's so important. And every day someone wakes up in the world and finds out about crypto and goes, oh, and they get it. You can't stop that. You can't stop a good idea. Like anarchy, you can't stop it. Once the idea starts spreading, you can't stop it. Well, there is a few ways to stop crypto. Turn off the power, or turn off the internet, or kill everyone on Earth. Those are the three ways. And those are actually options for them. These guys, I think it's time for them to leave this Earth. They've had enough. I don't know what happened or why or what it was all about. Rockefeller and Rothschilds and wars and killing and depopulation agendas and I don't know what, but they seem to be leaving now. Like every year one of them goes away, which is great. Hopefully the Queen soon. I saw there's a prince who's like 100 years old who's still driving or something. You see this guy? He looks like death. He's got to be going soon. I don't know how long they can keep drinking baby blood to keep it going. Anyway, their time's up. I think they kind of know it. But, just like any cornered animal, when they get backed into the corner and they really realize they might lose all the things they care about, which actually all the things they care about is stupid. They want power and control over people. That's not ever going to make you happy. Unless you're a sociopath, and that's probably what they are. But even, I don't know what they were trying to do or why. I don't understand it, and that's actually why I invite a lot of people like David Icke and so many interesting speakers. And a lot of people are like, whoa, if you invite him, then you're saying all anarchists believe in lizard people. No, but it's a very interesting theory. I'm trying to figure out what exactly is going on. And I don't think we ever can figure it fully out. But their time is up, for sure, and they know it, but it's going to get interesting. I don't think, do you guys see Christoph Melchizedek? That was interesting. Like, that sounds crazy as can be, what he's talking about. But something seems like he might be right. I'm not putting my eggs in the basket that guardians from alien planets are going to come save us. But it could be. I don't know. But I think they know their time's up. And we now have the internet. We now have cryptocurrencies. And if just forget about aliens, forget about lizard people, forget about the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds. If every single person who's here and that you know or hears this on the internet goes out and tries to get 3 to 5 people every year into cryptocurrencies, the power of exponential growth, I can't do it in my head. I went to government indoctrination camps, so I'm not very good at the math. But I think it's like 15 years and everyone will be into cryptocurrencies. That's the power, and that's sort of what a lot of the people who are speaking here that I'm really into are saying. We have the power. We just haven't used it. Start using it. That's it. Thank you.
Anarchapulco, it's so hype, I'm trying to tell ya. This the event of the year and best vacation ever. Ron Potter, Jeffrey Tucker, just to name a few. Get your tickets, you don't wanna miss it. You should roll through, talking politics to health and self-improvement to investing. So many things, not one thing. Learn how to live life unchained, yeah. 4 days vibing on the beach, time to connect. All about growth, way more than a conference. This is Anarchapulco, yeah. Let's go.
You ain't seen nothing yet.